so y'all can see a little bit better. I can move my chair. Hang on, guys. I'm not moving real quick today. Till we get old. Yeah. So rocking the hot water bottle. Had some back issues lately and spent all morning in the kitchen. Matter of fact, I did a little bit of live streaming on my Facebook about a recipe that I'd come up with. So I'm on keto right now. Kind of reset my diet a little bit. I think it's important to, especially as you get older, to reset how your body processes sugars. And a good way to do that is to not have it process sugars for a while. So that's what keto is in a lot of ways. And okay. Whew. So made a casserole, but the casserole took me an hour and a half to do. It's good enough to eat for a regular meal, but it is labor intensive. And just at a point where my back was like, no, you're going to have to sit for a while. So I figured I would spend that time with you all. That's some pretty cool gear for the 99 Club. I like that. So big news today is that we got team standouts, and my Falcons got Calvin Ridley because that's what we needed, another receiver. But I won't complain. I'm going to take them. I'm going to use them. Falcons first. So let's go into Ultimate Team, see if everything is poured in. And then we got other big news for the 50 today. Former Falcon Brett Favre is going to come into the game. So I am stoked about that. I was really hoping we would get him last year so I could keep him as, a secondary player to Vic. Terrible pack luck on the Good Morning Madden pack today. We're going to go ahead because I don't want to deal with this later, and we're going to go ahead and take these folks and go ahead and put them in exchange sets. Patrick DeMarco, I want to hang on to. Patrick DeMarco was a Falcon. Excuse me, just a second. Had to get a place to put my feet. Patrick DeMarco was a Falcon and is a fullback, so and a good one. I know he was All-Pro for a couple of years anyway. So we're not going to just throw him out. We're going to take him and we'll test the market with him, just kind of see what we have going on. Ben Nyman. He is a 71. Let's take a look at his stats. Some of these budget beasts have insane rushing or run block and pass block. I'm interested to see what DeMarco's stats are. Okay, so his run block's down to 62, lead block 68, impact 63. A serviceable fullback, certainly better than my Kevin football player Smith, but not anything that we're going to need to really reserve to make a lot of money on. So, but we will take a look at him on the auction house when we get that far. We got to go through and do our tedious work. Corn Elder, what a name! Corn Elder. You could be a news broadcaster with that name. We got to power up. Patrick Ricard, another, I believe, former Falcon. A hell of a blocking fullback. Let's see. I'm willing just to kick this up just a little bit to see what is... Okay, so I must have been wrong about him being a Falcon. We're going to refund that upgrade. Didn't cost me much. You can do that from time to time if you find a card you want to see if it's got chem, and you can go to Mudhead, or you can spend, the 2.5 training I just spent to see that. So, Coin stack looking good at 310. Now he is a fullback on the Ravens, so I have to assume he's probably going to go for some money. Although, you know, with the Ravens, they give you a lot of different offensive looks, so I don't know how much they use their fullback. But he is a really good blocker, especially when he is all the way upgraded. So we are going to take a look at our item binder. Now, it's been a while. You know, we didn't do auctions, I don't think, for 2 days straight. And we were reserving some of our power-ups because we knew that we were going to get a couple. We were hoping we would get a couple of these players involved in the team standouts. But one of the things you got to be careful with this when you're pricing it. We didn't really have anything to lose by doing that. We'll take a look at Micah Hyde, who just came out with an LTD. Pretty good for Micah Hyde. I probably wouldn't have gotten 1,000 for that a few days ago. So we'll take triple the value. But a couple of these guys, as we look at Kyle Fuller, not much of anything. When you get your 50 player, that's going to, or when you get your team standout player, that will come with their power up. So there's no reason for you to hold on to a power up just for that promotion. And you'll see that a lot kind of as time goes by. But looking back here, we've got some players that, you know, that are kind of in the hold. We do want to get these sold off today because we don't want them to run into a weekend, especially when we've got so many attractive options, especially when you think of the 50. We don't know who legends are going to be yet, but we know people are going to be ripping packs to get that Brett Favre, especially because he wasn't here last year. So, oh, hang tight 1 second. Caller, you are on the air.
Hey, did you see my last text?
No.
I was wondering if there was a specific reason you asked me to go to Walmart when I could get all that stuff at Milo, if there was something else you needed.
So, Mom would like a container for deviled eggs. If you can get that at Milo, you should be fine.
I have deviled egg trays. Can we use those in?
Yeah, I just didn't know where they were.
They're in the cabinet above the oven.
Okay, I'm chair bound for at least an hour with a heat and pack on, so
Okay.
I'll get those when I can get up again.
Okay. Yeah, there's two of them up there. At least they should be up there. If they're not, I don't know what happened to them, but that's where they are.
Cool. I will let her know.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
All right. So let's go into the Teammate Standout series. These are all supposed to be moments, which is really cool. Gives us a chance. You can see it's a 0 out of 128, so it's got its own thing there. Let's go to the milestones. So now, as you see, when you break that 416 star area, when you break that 448 star area, you're starting to get Team of the Week players as rewards. 352 is a Team of the Week player. They are starting to reward on this Team Affinity set. They're starting to reward Team of the Week players because Team of the Week goes into the set for your team standout. Now, reading the text on the overview, play through the highlight moment from each team standout player, complete all 32 challenges to earn your choice of an 89 overall standouts player, NAT, to your team. See the Standouts mission in Team Affinity for more information. So let's go into the sets, because we can see the whole card when we look at the sets. And let's take a look at stats and see which one of these are worth getting. One of the ones that they released, and he was part of the 50, not part of the Teammate Standouts, was the Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. But you got to remember, these guys are 89s. So they're not going to be, if you looked at DRC and thought he was going to be in this set, that's not the quality of player again. Still good players, but we got Kyle Fuller from the Bears having a great season, a really, really good corner. See if we can see his item. And we can't. But that's okay. We'll just go through him. William Jackson III, wide receiver out of Cincinnati, pairs up with A.J. Green. He's a quarterback out of Cincinnati. Pairs up nice with the Geno Atkins, if you got those. Josh Allen from Buffalo, playing lights out this year. A great player. Hang tight 1 second. You are on the air.
Hey, sorry, are we using the sour cream for a topping, or are we using it for cooking? Because if we're using it for cooking, I'm going to get it in a tub, but if we're using it for a topping, I'd rather get the squeeze one.
We are using it, I think we have plans for a tub and a squeeze.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. So Josh Allen, quarterback from the Buffalo Bills, playing lights out this year. Justin Simmons, free safety out of Denver, trying to reignite that air raid defense. Kareem Hunt, who is working with Nick Chubb in the Browns' backfield. The Browns have developed one heck of a running game. Jason Pierre-Paul. Fun fact about JPP, he blew up half of his hand in a fireworks accident on the 4th of July a few years ago. He was playing with the Giants. He is an 89, and he plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Good pass rusher. Kyler Murray, last year's Offensive Rookie of the Year. Quarterback, 89 out of Arizona. Austin Eckler, for the newly minted Los Angeles Chargers at an 89. Good back out of the field to catch the ball. L'Jarius Sneed plays on the corner for the Kansas City Chiefs. Darius Leonard, who's really coming into his own as an 89 left outside linebacker. Aldon Smith for the Cowboys. A lot of people a little bit disappointed in his choice there, but I think it's a good choice. Jerome Baker, the Mike from Miami. Good card there. Brandon Graham, an 89 left end out of Philly, so some help with that Philly defense. Calvin Ridley to add to the absolutely monstrous, the CVS receipt list of Atlanta Falcons receivers. But he's a good deep threat. And then you've got Julio as more of a possession, physical, yards after the catch guy. Fred Warner, a middle linebacker for the San Francisco 49ers. Blake Martinez, also middle linebacker. A lot of middle linebackers. So, if you're a Falcons theme teamer, you've got Deion Jones. I don't think you take any of these guys over Deion Jones because he will get upgrades. And then you've got Sam Mills. So you don't really need to work on your mics, although Deion Jones can translate, and I believe he's got this in his power-up card, to a outside linebacker position. Miles Jack out of the Jacksonville Jaguars, excellent player, very explosive. Marcus May for the New York Jets. Daron Harmon, a really good up-and-coming free safety out of Detroit. Alan Lazard. Now, if I told you last year that Alan Lazard was going to get a team standout card, I wouldn't have believed me. Shaq Thompson in the middle now for Carolina after the early retirement of Luke Kuechly. Julian Edelman, this man keeps me awake at night because of the Super Bowl against the Falcons. He is the pick, but he's Brady-less for the New England Patriots. Derek Carr for the Las Vegas Raiders. John Johnson, number 3, the strong safety coming out of Los Angeles with the Rams. Chuck Clark, strong safety for the Baltimore Ravens. John Bostic, big hitter, good at stopping the run. He's your Mike from the Washington football team. Alvin Kamara, an upgrade card for him out of the Saints backfield. So a little more pop to that Saints offense. DK Metcalf, if you want to talk, just look at him. First of all, look at the card art. And then second of all, remember, this guy, he's an absolute physical beast. Huge combine standout. His before his rookie year, which I believe was last year, and he has just come on in a big bad way this year. Mike Hilton, cornerback for the Steelers. Bernardrick McKinney, linebacker for the Houston Texans. Kenny Vaccaro, playing deep for the Tennessee Titans. And then finally Eric Kendricks, the middle linebacker for the Minnesota Vikings. So a pretty good lineup. I think if you are a theme teamer for any of these teams, you're happy. Although Calvin Johnson, would love Calvin Johnson. Calvin Ridley is not necessarily a position of need for my team. I'm not going to turn him down. And we'll get his power-up card, too. So if he continues to have a standout season, we'll see more upgrades for him. So we're going to go right into it. We're going to start with the Bears. Kyle Fuller had a standout moment with 4 tackles and an interception to kick off the season. Do we want to recreate it? Requirements: get 4 tackles. Don't allow more than 100 yards. So if we go all the way to the end of this, we're getting pro-competitive. Now, I love playing arcade. Let me go back and read the text, because I want to make sure we don't have to get full stars for this. The casserole is in the microwave. If we go into the Standout series, it just says complete all 32 challenges. So I think we can do this without doing all the stars. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and do full stars until we fail. And we'll see what happens. And we'll start with this one. Matt Ryan, is that DK? I don't know. I know it's not Bobby Wagner. I know it's not Russell Wilson. I don't know who that is. Maybe it's DK. I don't know. It's not either. Well, we'll see. And then Matty Ice, Matt Ryan, doesn't get a lot of love on this game. Always has great short accuracy.
Hello, you're watching Ultimate Challenges, and I'm your host.
4 tackles, do not allow more than 100 yards. All right, so again, beginning of every game, we go into our coaching adjustments. We go man, we go play ball, we go by overall. And so we're going to stay in our mid-blitz and see if that works. Now, I feel good about my corner's ability. We got a big hit on him, but he did get 10 yards on us. We just can't let him get 100. I do feel good having Dion and Aeneas Williams. Dion's not fully upgraded. He's at, I believe, an 88. So that is a priority. Nice move there as we get in with Sam Mills and get the tackle behind the line of scrimmage, pushing back that yard total. And we'll go back to the mid-blitz. But, I really like... I like to upgrade Dion as quick as I can every year, but I also have to do it in a way that's not going to decimate my card bank. So, you really have to do that when you just got money raining in. And they're going for it on 3rd and 24. Nice job. That should be my 4 tackles. We did not let them get over 100 yards, so we're going to pass on all of our stars here and get a challenge completed. William Jackson 3, the 3rd. Get 5 tackles, do not allow more than 10 complete passes. That looks pretty easy to do on this level too. But anyways, Dion is a bank breaker. He's always going to be expensive. So you really have to pick and choose your battles for when you get them. I like looking at his cards when you have a new Pat Pete come out, or somebody who's just always ridiculously expensive, but plays the position. And your hope is that kind of takes away some of the Dion demand.
Hello there, it's the coach with you here today, and this is an Ultimate Challenge.
Okay.
To finish this out, here's Brandon Goddard,
Same thing. We go to our coaching adjustments, we realign everything, and we go to mid-blitz.
Your opponent has the ball on their own 25 as we get set here 1st and 10.
Nice job. Good tackle in the backfield by Kazee, who's been a good addition to my team. He's quick. He's very quick.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Now, usually I'm going to play on that halfback, but every now and again I like to get back to doing the rushing as well. Good defense, knocks the ball out. Let's see. Some mid-blitz. See what he's giving us. Now, I probably want to watch this back here now because Burrow's probably going to try to get out of the line of scrimmage if he doesn't. Yep, and then he got right to the back. So, on third down, you definitely want to watch those backs. If you don't, what's going to end up happening is you'll get a good enough coverage downfield, or you'll be rushing, and they'll use those backs as a safety valve. So the one they always get me on is that halfback angle route. They just seem to get me on that every time. Not much of a return there. 11 yards. As you get to see Sanders' card. I'm going to punt it right back. So again, counterintuitive, right? But the reason we're doing this is because it's only a defensive challenge. So it does not matter. What I do on that side of the ball, on the offensive side of the ball, does not matter in this challenge. Let the ball roll back as far as it can go, pick it up, and then we're starting 1st and 10 on the 19, going back to that mid-blitz. I feel like they're going to run here, and I'm going to play that with Kazee. No, that's a pretty common running formation. They usually run a stretch on that. So on that occasion, I do like covering the halfback. If they run, they're going to run to the right. So I'm just going to kind of poach it right in the middle. And they do not, but it is a screen. So we play the close block and roll into the tackle. That's 3 out of the 5 tackles that we're going to need. And it is 3rd and 6. Again, playing Kazee, playing that back. Okay. And he's gone. But that's okay, because look at that. Those are our goals. Do not allow more than 10 complete passes. Absolutely nothing about yards or touchdowns. Bernard broke my tackle and got in. Totally fine. They're going to kick the ball back off me. And get their extra point, but they're going to kick the ball back off to me. And couldn't get it off in time. They're going to get the ball back off to me, and then we can just punt it right back and get our last tackle. I don't know why I just did an onside.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
They'll take over 1st down and 10.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it
on him. Punt it again. Get it back out.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense.
And actually, this should be our last tackle if he gets it, and he's not going to pick it up. So if you're ever doing something like that and you need a tackle like a solo user tackle, what you can do is you can go ahead and spike the ball 3 times. They'll be ready for the punt on 4th down, and then you can go in. Or you can try to level a big hit if you're playing arcade, and a lot of times those are going to turn into fumbles for you.
Played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well.
All right.
To do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that.
That's fine because we got the tackle, and that should be the end of it.
A good spot. Maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2
or no.
in the second quarter.
No, there we go. So we got our 5 tackles. We got all 4 stars. We're going to go to the next challenge. Score a passing touchdown and pass for 20 yards. Pretty easy. Boone YT says, can you pull these power-ups? Which power-ups, bud? Thanks for watching.
Welcome, everybody. I'm the coach. Up next, another Ultimate Challenge on EA Sports.
I'm assuming you're probably talking about the 50 or the standouts. I have not ripped packs yet. I'm just doing this. So I don't know if you can pull them yet. So for DK, yeah, I think you can. I think you can actually pull those in packs now. I think DK should already have a power-up. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that all of them are getting power-ups, and from what Kralo said this morning, the power-ups should be available on the release. I'm going to get Calvin Ridley. I'm a Falcons homer. I'm a theme teamer. The last thing I know that we need is another receiver on the Falcons. But I have to. At the end of the day, I think that's good, though, because if he ends up having a monster season, we'll have the power up and we'll be able to get more upgrades for him. Because he's playing lights out right now. But I was certainly hoping for a different player for the Falcons. That was a bad play. Come on, get in there. All right, we scored. A different player for the Falcons that was a position of need. But when you're 0-4 in scraping the bottom barrel of the NFC South, beggars can't be choosers. So I'll take Ridley. Good speed on him. Did you see his card? I think he's a 92. So hopefully with the chem and a couple of power, or a couple of the what do you call it? The zone run play action. I lost the word, but if we get those, I think Ridley's going to be a monster. And then we got Roddy White too. So. So yeah, that's going to depend on your offense. They're all different degrees. So the question is Josh Allen, Derek Carr, Kyler Murray. They're all different degrees of fast, and they're all different degrees of accurate. From what I've seen, so my typical offense, which is not what I'm playing here, but my typical offense is the Mike Vick. I like to run the Raiders playbook, and I do tight end attack. And the Falcons always have great tight ends, too. And then you've got that one receiver on the fly, which for me will be Ridley. I've got Gonzalez coming across the field. And then I'll have Vic. And then if they just leave him a wide open space, I can run. And I think it also matters if you're focusing on solo or competitive play. But I would say just right off the jump, based on my offense, that's my dogs, I'm sorry. I take Josh Allen from how he's playing right now. Kyler's probably faster. You're probably going to get more ball carrier moves, and I haven't seen their power-ups, but my bet is that Kyler's in there as a scrambler, and Josh Allen's probably in there as an improviser. So I would take Allen. If you're looking for a quarterback, I'd take Allen. Although, yeah, so and again, I don't have the stats in front of me, but just off the top of my head, I would think that the Josh Allen card is probably going to have a higher TOR rating, and that's really what you need to look at is their TOR. So I would say Josh Allen's probably going to have a higher TOR. I don't think Derek Carr's going to do it for you. I mean, he's quick, but he's not game-changing quick. Yeah, I think he's going to be a lot of fun too. Josh Allen got just stupid good out of nowhere. I've loved watching him play this season. You saw the signs and everything, but last year in Buffalo. But I mean, he's just playing lights out. When you can be mentioned in the same group with Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, and Patrick Mahomes, you're having a pretty decent year. So if the Bills stay on this trajectory, you got to think about this too, Booney. The Jets. I don't know if the Jets are going to be able to compete with what the Bills have done so far this year. No, you don't. Well, I don't think so. So, again, they didn't say anything. I'm playing them all 4 stars because what it looks like that they're doing is they're doing Team Affinity. They're building it onto that Team Affinity set. So the higher you go in your star count, you're going to start getting like the team of the week players that you can use in your sets. So I'm doing that, and I just put it on. So the highest, this difficulty right now is the highest you can get, and we're on pro competitive. I hate playing competitive because it can be a little picky sometimes. Just make sure I'm doing it. So don't allow a touchdown win the game. So I'm just going to grind clock. But the one right before this, the 3-star challenge, is all pro arcade. So I just decided I'm going to get on here and play on the 4-star difficulty until I get knocked off, and the first solo I lose, I'll probably just go back. But it is good to get to collect those extra stars, because if they continue to build on this promo, and they're doing Team Affinity all year, that's that could be something that comes in handy in December. Whenever they release another part of the program. So I love watching Warwick Dunn. He's 110 pounds. He's getting smacked around by 900-pound defensive linemen. He's not going down. So to answer your question, I don't think you have to play to those 3 stars, but that's just what I'm doing right now. Also, I don't know if you watched the stream this morning, but Brett Favre is back. So if you are looking for a quarterback, I mean, you're not going to get an incredible throw on the run, but definitely another quarterback option. Favre had some mobility. You're not gonna light the world on fire with him. Probably as mobile as a David Carr when Favre was in his prime, but definitely a gunslinger and somebody who's going to be fun to play as. And he should have Falcons chem. So I'm excited to get him and use him as a backup to Vic. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and with as OP as pocket quarterbacks are this year, Marino is insane. If you've ever played anybody, he didn't swat everybody off that time. If you ever played anybody with the fully upgraded Marino, just dots all over the field. He's insane. But Favre's gonna be like that. But he's really, somebody did an experiment the other day, and I was reading about this on Mutthead, where he played. I think he played Josh Allen's gold card, and he was playing on the All Madden in competitive. And what he wanted to show was that the only thing that matters this year is throw power. And, he was crushing it. Throw power is the most important most important stat for a quarterback this year. Brett Favre at some point is going to be the best quarterback in the game. So if you're thinking of this from from an investment standpoint, I would, I think anything that you get that's Favre related, I think it's going to be expensive off the jump, but I think it's only going to get better as time goes on. So, we're getting a free, just from doing the solos, I think we're getting a free 50 card week 7. And right now, he's the leader in my clubhouse. Tyrone Calico? Tyrone Calico. He's a monster. He plays like Calvin Johnson. I think he's I don't know how tall he is. I want to say he's like 6'7". Up to this point, I think he has a 92 speed. His deep running route is insane. It depends on your offense, right? I would do Tyrone Calico. If you want somebody, if you don't have good tight ends, maybe you pick VJax because of his height and his ability to kind of catch the ball in the end zone, go up for jump balls. On this one for the Browns, we need to score a touchdown and rush for 5 or more yards. This drive's super easy. But it just depends on your offense, man. I would do, just off the cuff, I would do Calco, I think. But then again, either one of those two guys are going to take up, if you end up using that 50 slot, That's going to take up where you could boost your defense with Reggie White, which I'm really considering doing. But now that Favre's in play, unless I just oddly pick him up from a pull, which I don't have that kind of pack luck, I think I'm going to have to use him for my free player, even though I've got Vic. One of the things that I've been saying a lot, especially for folks who you've got Finley. Oh yeah, he's well. If you've got the diamond, you've got Finley. I don't know. The other tight end is good, but I can't remember off the top of my head who it is. But if you've got Jermichael Finley, he's bananas, and I would think that you'd want more of a deep threat like a Calico. All right, so we're 1st and 10. We've got to get 6 yards on the ground. Pretty easy to do. We're going to go back to that read option we've been using a lot this year. So again, we're reading the tight end right there. We're reading the defensive end right on Gonzalez. If not, we're going to hand it to Dunn. Pretty confident in this play, except I didn't get the right read. That's what happens when you don't get the right read. More talking and less focusing on the right read. So we're going to read them again. We've got Reggie Wayne and Tyreek Hill. That's. Are you playing a theme team? Or are you just trying to get players you like?
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. And we've hit the 2-minute.
I'm much more interested in what Boone has to say right now than I am my game. So if I screw up, it's because my attention is split. But that's cool. This is good. This is the reason I created the channel, was because people are having a hard time with social distancing, and it's good every now and again just to find a stranger passerby who happens on the channel and just wants to chat. So well, I'm gonna put I'm still gonna play, but we'll save some of the shop talk while we've got our friend Boone here talking to us. Starting theme team. So are you thinking, have you not decided on a Steelers fan? Okay. Well, so good news for you, I think, because I think that what I'm noticing this year is it seems like they're really kind of digging into some of the Legends contracts. I would love to get a Hines Ward. I would love to get a Hines Ward. And he works perfect for my offense. Where we do run the ball a lot, we block a lot. I need a good blocking receiver. So then you got potentially Lynn Swan. Well, okay. So Bettis, have you played somebody with a 92 Legend card? Because I was playing on the Legend solos just to try to get my card, and I was playing on a ridiculously stupid difficulty, and he burned everybody on a 97-yard play. I figured I'd get him, but he looked like a little bowling ball just rolling down the field.
Hello, everyone. You're watching Ultimate Challenges.
We're not going to allow a touchdown in the second quarter. We're going to get a sack. So, again, we're going to go back to mid-blitz and make sure that we get all of our pre-adjustments so we can make this quick. Although I do like the 3-4 play we've been talking about. I don't have a 3-4 in my defensive playbook. But it's pinch cover 0. That's a really good play out of 3-4 if you want a sack play. I forgot Brady was back there. Damn.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had the
all right.
on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense.
So we're still good. We can still make all of our stars. Use Grady Jarrett and hopefully just get a jump on this snap. I got through, but it's Tom Brady, and he keeps me up at night.
28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Yeah, that's huge, because anytime you can take a stop at the line of scrimmage and turn it into a 4-yard gain, I mean, all you really need is 3 yards, especially when you're talking about, playing competitive. If I had a guarantee if I had a running back, they'd guarantee me 3 yards every play. That's all I'd need. But they've got some, and Dunn was actually, when I was upgrading him, Dunn's kind of a vanity thing. I spent money on him, and I shouldn't have, but my whole thought was, if you're not playing with players that you love, players that kind of create that sense of nostalgia for you, you're getting it wrong. Yeah, so TJ Watt? Yeah, and I hear, oh, come on. I think if you sneeze on Tom Brady, you get a roughing the passer call. Yeah, from what I hear, Boone, he plays lights out, super fast, and part of that Steelers linebacking core. I would love to see, like, if we're gonna play the Steelers, let's play the Steelers. I want to see a lot of those old defensive guys come back, by the end of the season, it seems to me like the end of the season certainly from last year, I think the end of the season was Steelers heavy. So, like, for me, what I like to do, because I like themed teams and I like the bonuses, although they nerfed that this year, I like to find a complementary team. So with the Falcons, we've got Vic, so I don't need another good quarterback. I've got a couple of good running backs. I like Warwick Dunn. Todd Gurley is serviceable. At least it was an early game. If he does anything this year, maybe it will be an end game. I'm always going to have Dion. I'm always going to have a decent corner. And now I've got Aeneas Williams filling out the other side. Don't have anything much of safeties. I've got Deion Jones, but nothing else much of linebackers, and certainly no pass rushers, except the occasional Dwight Freeney at the end of the year. So I have to find a team that's pretty stacked defensively or has some good offensive line options, and then I'll just kind of marry those two teams together early in the season, and then just start shedding later on as I get more Falcons to fill in that spot. So, but yeah, start building it now. Start investing in those players now. The one player that is not a Falcons player that I've invested in is Khalil Mack. Just because that man he's a grown man. He's a monster. And so I like using him. And I don't think we're going to get anything. Hey, sweetie.
What you doing?
I'm talking to Boone and playing my game.
Everybody, welcome.
This is my daughter. This is Molly. It's Boone. He's talking to me.
Hi, Boone.
Yeah. So this one we got to do a rushing touchdown first quarter. Got to make it at least 10 yards. What you need, sweetie? Hanging out? Did you eat that casserole? Okay. All right. So we're going to go back to the read option. We're going to see if we can do a little bit better this time. Boone says hi. Law. All right. So we're going to look on the right side to see what this defensive end does. He stays home. We're going to get it to Warwick Dunn, and he's just going to scamper all over the field. We'll take that. We got our 10 yards rushing. I think it was get a touchdown. I think that's a challenge. So, Boone, if you're doing these standout series, yeah, the rushing touchdown should be pretty easy. If you're doing the standout series, so far, knock on wood, the solos have not been bad, and certainly you're able to do them on pro competitive. All right, oh, come on! All right. Warwick Dunn, professional NFL player, decided to trip over his own feet. Yeah, they are pretty easy. So far. And I say that, and then we'll get something, we'll get something on here that's going to kick my butt, but that's all right. Yeah, we scooted out to the right, and that's going to be our touchdown. And another one down. All right, so 4 stars. We're going to move on to the next challenge. So, Boone, feel free to hang out as long as you want, man. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my channel just so you know what I do here on here. It's not always going to be... Are you kidding me for a Josh Allen pup? I think I might have some in my binder. But it's not. It's mostly Madden. I do mostly Madden, but a lot of times I'll do some live streams with my kids. We play Jackbox a lot and stuff like that. So if you see it pop up, I'll probably put Madden in the description so you know it's a Madden theme. But if you want to join any of the other games that we play online, more than welcome to. We just, my kids right now, I've got teenagers, as you saw. They're struggling right now, not having much of a social life. So this is the best, best we can do. We have a good time when we play. So always welcome to, I'm not doing this for, I'm not monetizing the channel. I'm not doing it for subscriptions. But if you want to subscribe to the channel, it should give you a pop up whenever I'm on. And nowadays, when I'm on the PS4, I'm streaming. So anytime we can make a friend, we're good with that. All right, so we've got a couple of rushing yards that we're going to have to get. I think it was 52. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. And again, if you know of anybody else that just likes to chill out, play games, make friends, let me know. And if you stream or you know anybody else that does, feel free to put their link in the comments, and I'll go in there and sub to them too. I don't say anything particularly interesting, but it is fun to have some company. All right, so we got to run again. I'm going to go back to this now. Hopefully, if I can get a read, if I can actually figure this thing out, and I've had it, I just have to run this play in a while. If I can actually get good at this play, what ends up happening on the right side is the entire defense pulls left, and then I've got Vic all the way to the end zone. And if that doesn't happen, then I should have work done. And again, all of that is really dependent on whether or not that defensive end stays home. So there is 8 of my 53 yards, and we'll take it. And a good read. So let's do it again. Again, we're reading that right defensive end on Gonzalez, watching what he does. And a bad read, but I'm making something of it. Still going. Yeah, so, oh shoot, that wasn't my camera there, Phil. Yeah, me too. I was a huge critic of EA very early into this season, saying that they were missing a golden opportunity to create their player base with 2K coming out. Not create their player base, but to do a fan service year. And they were really missing the boat early on. There we go. Go, baby, go. They were really missing the boat early on. The game is glitchy and laggy, and it really did seem like Madden 20 2.0. But they have done, I know everybody's into the EA bashing, but they have actually done a really good. There we go. We got it. Oh, come on. I juked too early. But they have done a really good job in going back and starting to create content and fixing that issue. So no, that one should have been a handoff. I hit the handoff button. I agree with you. I'm glad they're helping out no money spent player, and I'm glad that they're getting back to helping out some of the theme teamers. I was really worried about that at the beginning of the season, that we wouldn't be able to put a decent theme team together this year. So I feel good about that too. We got a rushing touchdown, but 51 out of our 54 yards. Let's go ahead and boot this ball here.
Seeing the future, what I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half, and that'll give us momentum going into the second half. Give us that cushion that we're looking for.
And we're going to kick the ball off,
scoring right before the half end.
and we're going to try to get it right back. So again, on these, we were talking about on the stream the other day, find your guy, see where you are. Hey, he nailed it in the end zone, but you really want to almost run past him and then cut in, and then you can light him up with a hit stick. Now, we're not on arcade, so we're not going to get the hit sticks we used to get on arcade, but you will cause your fair share of fumbles. I really should have been on that back. Yep. Oh, if I get 10, I wasn't even controlling him at the end of that play, and I got roughing the passer. That's Reggie White. That's a man of God. Leave him alone. All right. So Kazee here has actually been, he's part of the Team Builder 2 set, and he's been an absolute baller for me. He's very fast. and very quick in and out of his cuts. So, dang. All right, Chargers are pushing on me here. Yes, okay, I'm glad you mentioned that. The All-Pro Fantasies, whenever they come out, dude, buy every last one of them. That pack has been money for me this year. Nothing else. I've done a little bit of the, I've spent some time doing the Get-A players, and I mean, that was consistent for me. I did have some luck there. Nope. I did have some luck there, but the All-Pro Fantasies have been amazing. And it's because that last round. It's because you get 2 picks in that last round. Yep, me too. I bought the whole thing out. And I'm prepared to do it again. I haven't done, so boom, I haven't done a Legend pack yet this year, or a 50 pack. Have you done that at all? Have you had any success with either one of those 2 packs? I would think it's just going to be a waste of coins. All right. We're going to take it up with Dion a little bit. We're just going to drop to the 20. We don't need to do anything more than get some yards on the ground, and not with Dion. Back to the read option. We'll watch that defensive end. Okay, so this is perfect. They're on man, but they're all shifted out to the left. Boone said he did a Legend Fantasy pack when Dan came out, and he got trash. And again, those packs are way too expensive and never worth the money. We're going to watch this guy on the right-hand side. If he stays home, we got to hand the ball off. But if he doesn't, then we go. And we go. So again, if this were a regular game and not a moment, you know, I mean, those types of plays are what you live for, and that's the reason why you run that read option, and you run it with trips to one side. That's going to bring everybody over to one side. If you've got a quick quarterback, that's going to get you a ton of yards every time. L'Jarius Sneed. So now we're at the Chiefs. 7+ tackles. I'm assuming those are user. Do not allow more than 10 pass completions. So, Boone and mystery guest, I appreciate y'all hanging out with us today. The bark in the background means my wife is home, so I'm going to cut the stream. But it was nice spending some time with y'all today. And if you subscribe, we can spend some more time together later. But I appreciate y'all. Happy pack ripping, guys. I hope you guys get what you want.